Welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Coline Witt, and today we have in the building music artist, philosopher, entrepreneur, LaRussell, and I am truly excited. Nothing made my day more than 2 days ago when your crew, I think his crew confirmed 2 or 3 days ago, and it literally, they were like, Coline, why are you so silent? You were supposed to be happy. And I was like, well, I'm just making sure you tell me the date, because if you tell me a month from now, I'm not getting excited because just in case something happens. And she was like, so you're happy? I said, what's the date? 2 days from now? I was like, hell yeah, I'm happy, girl.
Come on.
Thanks. Shout out to Nicole from The Black Effect for booking you. Super happy to have you. I love the name of your company and I love what you're about. The name of his company is called Good Penny, as in coins, which I was like, ooh, that's different.
Come on.
I said, man, LaRussell's hitting us with so much integrity. You remind me of a cross between Jay-Z and Drake. And anyone that has not heard your music or kind of even tried to cyber spy on you is really missing out on some good stuff. But since I have you in my kitchen, the Eating While Broke kitchen, I have to know, what were you eating when you were broke?
Man, today I'm going to be making an egg sandwich, which was a classic. My mama taught me how to make eggs when I was 5, and I used to wake up every morning and make eggs, so that was the only thing I knew how to make. So we taking it back to the basics. We got some eggs. We got some salt and pepper. Today we're going to be doing it on garlic bread.
Yeah.
Because I usually use regular bread. We just throw it in a toaster. But my boy Austin was like, you got to do garlic bread. So I figured we'd spice it up today.
We had a whole discussion about the whole garlic bread, you and I, because I've actually never even thought of garlic bread. Actually, the first time I ever had garlic bread for real, was the Texas toast in the box. And now if you go into a store, it is sold out. You can't get it. It's a miracle if you find one, maybe on eBay. But I don't know. The pandemic just said, take away the best bread on earth.
Right.
But I'm excited to eat with you, so let's get it cracking.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, I got.
Oh, that was an egg pun. Let's get it cracking.
Okay. Oh, look at that. See, that's how real rappers do it. I listen to rap music so much that my girlfriend and I, shout outs to Willette behind the mirror over there. I listen to rap music so much that I actually speak in metaphors, and sometimes people have to stop me and say, "Coline, we get it. You don't have to re-break it down in puzzle terms."
I'm a metaphor speaker. Can I move this so I can crack some eggs here?
I'll help you. Slide over to my side.
The greatest. Are you eating one too? So I should make all these eggs?
Oh, you have to cook for both of us.
Okay.
Because if it's trash, we can both discover that garlic bread egg sandwiches is just not our thing.
So I'm finna drop some butter up in here because my mama be like, use some Pam so you don't leave eggs stained all over the.
Now, are you one of those people that are really gonna use metal on a?
But this is probably Teflon.
Yes.
Yeah, I do use
You
metal on
better not.
it. We're not supposed to do that.
No, even every listener is hearing that scratching and is like, "What is he doing?"
That's crazy.
What is he doing? His mama couldn't have ever let him do that.
Man, she did. You wouldn't believe how much stuff my mom let me do.
She let you use metal on Teflon?
I don't even think we had Teflon back then. Yeah. Maybe. I don't remember.
You're right. I think back then it was like a luxury, I'm sure. Yeah. Back then I think it was you're right. You just had to butter everything down. Yeah. Otherwise it's stuck.
Or you get that good old Pam spray and you in it. Oh, I'm getting it all over the.
You do it. Go.
I'm not a.
So tell me a little bit about what was going on. I know this is the first dish that you ever cooked, but tell me what was going on during the time of.
I usually add bacon bits and cheddar cheese, but I heard y'all broke, so it wasn't here. So we're gonna go pepper. I don't see salt over here.
There's Lawry's.
Y'all struggling.
Hey, he's making so much fun of us over here. This is the Eating While Broke show. You're not even gonna use Lawry's because we don't have salt.
No, I'm not gonna use Lawry's. I've never done that. I'm trying to keep it authentic.
Wow. Okay. I respect it. To be honest, I don't use Lowry's. Well, I just started to recently, but it's only because I married a black man from Detroit who believes Lowry's is,
the everything seasoning, huh?
Yeah, that's
all encompassing.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So what was going on growing up? Like around when you were making egg sandwiches. I know you started at 5, making these, but like, kind of tell me a little bit of your background growing up. Like, were you middle class, lower middle class?
I thought I was middle class until I got older and realized we were definitely lower middle class. Mm-hmm. But my pops was a hustler, so we had enough money to be like the richest niggas in the broke neighborhood type shit. You feel me? Yeah. But definitely lower class, just regular neighborhood. Mm-hmm. It'd be hard to describe when people ask that question because you got to kind of grow up in it to be familiar.
Did you grow up in a 2-parent household?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Okay. A lot of people on this show haven't.
I'm going in.
That's good. So, when did you transition to music?
I've been writing since I was like 7, whether through like writing poems or just journaling, drawing. I've just always used kind of writing and art as like an artistic expression and form. So yeah, since I was 7, and it's kind of just cultivated. Me and my sister had this boombox, and we used to download instrumentals from LimeWire and burn them on a CD.
I remember LimeWire.
And then play the instrumentals on the boombox and rap over it. And I remember we had rapped over Nuck If You Buck. And I was going crazy. But my sister was better than me at the time, so I just had to keep working.
Your sister was rapping too?
Yeah, my sister was rapping too.
So, does she still rap?
No, she doesn't.
So you surpassed her in the rap skills, and then she was like, I'm good. Is that what happened?
I don't think she ever had a passion for it. It was just something we like to play around and do. And I just kind of stuck with it. Okay,
that's pretty cool. So is it that you like Drake? Because from what I've researched on you is that you, from other articles, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but your goal was to be on the level, I want to say, on the, I don't know, like numbers level, because obviously talent-wise, you're on the same level as Drake.
Thank you.
But I'm saying numbers-wise, you want to be on the same level, but independently.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
And not necessarily numbers-wise, but impact and notoriety-wise. I want people to respect me as such. And partially the way to do that is to put up the numbers, right? If you're not scoring as well as Jordan, people don't respect you like a Jordan, right? And yeah, to do that independently and just show people that it's possible to be the greatest at something without having to utilize someone else's infrastructure that they tell you got to go through, and you got to use these methods, and you got to sell away your ownership. Like everyone knows early on, Drake didn't have his masters and had a horrible deal. I want to show people that you can get to that level without having to go through that, right?
When you say, just want to rewind, you said it was important for you to have impact and notoriety. Like, why? What does that even mean?
To me, it just it enables you to make change. Like right now, I feed the whole hood where I'm from. From now to the end of the year, I've been feeding the hood out of my own pocket, and I've only been able to do that because of my impact and my notoriety. I've become so great that I make enough money to where I could take care of the place that birthed me, right? And a lot of people don't get to do that because they don't have either the talent level or the resource to do it. I've been able to do it independently. I finna drop this garlic bread on this joint.
It's already
It's already done?
I already toasted it and everything.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I tried to cheat it because I wanted to get all up in your Kool-Aid.
Wow.
So I put the tinfoil on it.
It ain't the Texas toast kind. It's
no, because you can't find that anywhere.
Oh, this is intriguing. Yeah,
okay, let's try it.
This.
Let's be a team here. Dang. Why do we have to break from your story though?
Right.
Is this not the hardest interview process you ever
No,
had to
this
do?
is great. This is great. I'm a multitasker.
I'm gonna try this too. All right, so we get the bread. Everyone, we're getting the garlic bread situation together, and we're putting eggs in it.
Yeah, this is new. I've never had this. Shout out Austin for recommending.
We have to turn off the stove.
Oh, yep. Let me get right on there.
Look, he's about to
burn the place down.
First, he was talking this mess about us being broke. Now,
well, I was going to put garlic bread on there, but you guys did it, so
okay.
I completely forgot.
You were gonna actually make it. You don't even know how to make garlic bread, do you?
I mean, I use Texas toast, so I was just gonna throw it up on that joint, and then it does what it does, and you're good after.
Oh, okay, that's trying. Okay, let's go back to notoriety and impact, and you feeding your community.
Yes. Okay.
I'm stealing all your eggs, buddy.
Yeah, do your Dougie.
All right, here we go. Do you want to sample it first before we get into the nuts and bolts?
Sure.
All right, let's try this.
Let's see what this is.
Here we go. It's good.
It is. It's a lot of bread.
I think Texas garlic
Texas
bread would have
toast
been better.
would do it. Texas toast would do it.
But at least we now know.
Right.
We actually now know how to do it in the future. But it's way too much bread on this one.
Way too much bread.
Way.
It's like a bread with a side of eggs. It's actually garlic. A garlic bread sandwich.
Would you ever serve this at Momo's?
That could be an idea.
But with thinner bread.
Right.
Yeah. Look at me. Can we call it the eating while broke? No, that would probably be horrible, huh? To name it the eating while broke sandwich while you're at a pay as you go.
Right.
Is it pay as you go or pay what you want?
It's pay what you want. Proud to pay.
Well, come sit with me so I can get all up in your Kool-Aid. I know he jumped off camera on that one, right? It's fine. It's fine. We have
Real life.
Real life. So let's go into Momo's
Cafe.
Momo's Cafe for a second. What inspired all of that? Or at least to partner?
Just seeing the need. There's a lot of homeless in Vallejo and just people who don't get to eat. And I'm always outside, so I'll always see it. I'm always giving someone money or taking care of someone, whether my mom would drop off boxes of merch to the homeless community out there, to different encampments. And I'm just always trying to help, right? And this is a way that we can help now that I'm in a grander position. I've done a few of these prior this year, but just for a day.
Yeah.
And when you do it a day, it's like everybody don't get a chance to eat. So this time it was like, let's make sure everybody gets a chance to eat.
Yeah. So I think what you're doing is great. I'm going to circle back to your music again. So you're a talented artist. Again, for anyone that hasn't heard your music, I definitely would say you're in the same lane as Jay-Z and Drake.
Come on.
Which, by the way, I'm a hardcore Jay-Z fan. Everyone that listens to this show knows this. I have a huge 5-foot painting. It's literally the only one in the world that was custom made of Jay-Z, like hanging out in
Where
the
are you
Marcy
from?
projects. I'm from Brooklyn.
There it goes.
But I will say this in all truest form. Currently, over the last couple years, I listen to Drake more. And I feel guilty. I feel like I'm cheating. Like, for real. Like, I don't let nobody know that. Like, nobody knows that. This is the first time I've said it out loud.
Right.
But in my heart, I'm like, yo, just listen to Jay-Z today. You don't have to always pick Drake. But I listened to your lyrics, and I'm just wondering, like, have you ever been signed?
Not in the capacity that artists get signed. Like, I've never been signed to a major deal. All of my deals have been partnerships.
Like distribution deals?
No, I've done like record deals, but in partnership form, like 50-50 profit shares. Like, I don't belong to anyone. I'm my own entity, and we just split profit versus when a record label usually signs you, you're in like a royalty deal and they own your shit, and or if they don't own your shit, they license it for 20 years and they have power and rule over when you release and how you release or any of that. So I've never been in a major deal. All of my deals have been partnerships.
Currently, are you in a partnership deal or are you independent?
I've been independent the entire time. So all of
right.
these partnerships are complete. Like me and my team do everything you see from
So
content to
you're controlling
shooting,
all the marketing.
everything.
So and they're controlling, because nowadays it's a little confusing what a record label is really bringing to the table at this point.
It depends on,
It depends. Now, if oh my gosh, why am I spacing? When it comes to who is Drake and Lil Wayne, and what's their name of their label? Young Money? No.
Yeah.
Is it? No, it's not Young Money. It's
Drake's.
Just say it, Jared.
Drake's is OVO.
Oh, OVO. But no. He was signed to Lil Wayne. Who was
to Young Money?
Young
Cash
Money. Okay, Cash Money.
Young Money's under Cash Money.
So from what I know of the history of the music industry, Birdman had the best deal in the industry. So Young Money, Cash Money, has literally the best deals on the table.
Cash Money.
Cash Money.
Right.
So if Cash Money called you up right now, I'm just playing the devil's advocate with.
No, see, there's a Cash Money had the best deal in terms of their deal with Republic, not in terms of the deals that they gave artists.
Really, you don't think they gave artists really good deals?
No, because Drake didn't have his masters. He just got him. He was in a royalty deal. Lil Wayne had to take him to court to get his money. How could they be in a great deal?
Oh, okay, because
Tyga has been complaining for years. How could they be in a great deal? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thanks for explaining me.
But yeah, Cash Money had a substantial deal. You know, Wendy Day was a part of helping put that together with Republic. They really broke the bank.
When did you... So you're a music artist. What is intriguing about you is, for instance, today we gave you a release clearance, and you sat there quietly and read it. You're a businessman all the way through. So do you think you were an entrepreneur before you were an artist?
Definitely. Before I was releasing art, I was selling beats. I was making like album covers for people and selling them. I used to sell Swishers. I've sold
one of your parents
basketball tees. Yeah, my pops was a hustler. He sold everything under the sun except drugs. Like
that was going to be my next question, because when I hear hustler, I'm like, what was he selling?
Yeah, nah, man. Everything
he sold everything but drugs.
Exactly.
So you got your entrepreneur spirit from him, and then your talent growth kind of came from you and your sister, like in this boombox.
Kind of my pops as well. He's very creatively inclined, right? And he's a problem solver. Right. And I feel like a part of my talent and just my skill, my business acumen is because I'm a problem solver.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to say is I'll figure it out, and I will.
Yeah. Spoken like a true entrepreneur. You know how to pivot.
Right.
You know how to pivot. Yeah. That's whenever I see a problem, I'm always like, it's not a problem. It's a challenge.
Right.
What are we going to do about it?
I was walking to get my daughter the other day, and I was talking with my brother, and I was like, man, are you looking for problems or are you looking for solutions?
Bingo.
You usually find whatever you're looking for.
I like that. You know what? You say how I think. I think that's why I like you so much. I genuinely fuck with you hard.
Come on.
Do I say fuck on this show ever, really? I genuinely mess with you. I was just like, yo, is he as dope? So what I've learned being a Christian and just living in the world is like there's so many dope people that are doing great things externally. But now that I'm older, I've grown enough wisdom to ask myself, well, if they're externally have all this integrity, I just wonder, like, if I was a fly on their wall at home, you know, do they carry that same level of integrity? When I listen to some of your rap lyrics, I'm like, okay, they're great. And then there's some that teeter into like how you enjoy women in the past. I don't know if it's current. I don't know. You know, it's hard being a man. I'm not a man. So I just wondering, like,
I think if you were a fly on the wall in my house, you'd see a human in supreme form, right? In every aspect on their roller coaster and on their journey. I think there's everyone around me could speak to my heart and my greatness and my moral and my character, but I also have issues as a human as well that I have to develop from and that I've had to grow from just through a journey, right? Like you you learn self-respect and you learn value and you learn respecting other people throughout your journey, depending on your experience and your surrounding and what you witness, right? Most of us just replicate whatever we see. If you don't see anybody in like loving and nurturing situations and providing that, you don't often replicate it, right? Because that's not something you're familiar with. So just through that process, of course, I'm a human, but I think for the most part, what you see externally of me is what you see when you meet me. I'm the exact same person, right?
When I hear your lyrics, I feel like you're vulnerable. You're honest with yourself, and I think for a lot of men, I don't want to say a lot of men, for humans, I think we tend to either tell ourselves the truth or we tell ourselves a lie. And it's the battle of, but the only way to grow is to tell yourself the truth. So there's a lot of vulnerability in your lyrics, and I love it. Like, I love it. Well, the same reason why I love a lot of y'all, you are my top 3,
Come on.
So now I do snooping. Obviously, I had to cyber stalk the hell out of you. But I noticed you were like, if you're a fan of mine, you come directly to me. Like, how did you even conceive that concept of like, you want to come to my show, you buy the tickets from me, no Ticketmaster, no middleman? Like, where did that come from?
Life. That's always been the process, like I've watched my dad hustle, and everyone who bought product from him pulled up on him or he pulled up on them. If you want something from LaRussell, you have to go communicate with LaRussell. When you start adding third parties, you could either miss opportunity or something get misplaced. Like, I used to do booking for a theater, and I was trying to book certain artists, and I'd have to go through their agents. And it'll be like a CAAW or whatever.
Sometimes they shut you down before it even gets presented.
It don't even get to it. And then when I meet them later, I'm like, bro, I was trying to get you for it. Would have been dope because I was building this thing. And they're like, man, I didn't even know.
Right? And
that's because a nigga ain't hollering at you. And then as the more middlemen you have, the more pie that's getting dipped into. Yeah. And I'm a firm believer in, if I'm splitting pie, it needs to be with people who help me bake the pie. Not someone who's just there because this is standard. You need to have a business manager. You need to have a this, that. Like, we're not going to do that. You got to actually provide something. If you didn't bring no ingredients or help bake this, you shouldn't get a slice of it.
Now, you do have a team, because to get to you, I tried emailing, okay? I was like, this is the email. This is how I get to them. But you do have a team. Do you have a rule amongst your team that they don't get to say no? That they have to at least present the opportunity to you? Because that's a valid point that happens in the industry
just
all
about
the time.
Everything comes to me, and I may have seen this. I was telling Austin. No, I'm for sure. I was telling Austin when it first came, I had seen a show similar, and I was like, I don't know, because I seen the eating while broke thing, and I feel like a lot of people play on like poor people and shit, and I didn't like it, so I was just like, I'm not gonna deal with that right now. Let me see as it cultivates. So I may have seen it. There's not too much that come through the email that I don't see, and if I don't see it, my 2 right hands always see it, and it still makes its way to me. So with the eating while broke, that was one of the reasons I was like, the title. I don't like when people play on poverty and like, it's just like
When I created Eating While Broke, I was like, I have so many dope, successful friends that are like millionaires, influencers, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and they always have these crazy stories, like they were in jail or they were male escorts or just crazy ass stories, and I love them. I live for them. We go on a hike, and I'm like, tell me more. Right. What else did you do? You're a hooker. Okay, let's hear it, And so I just love the journey. I do enjoy the solutions, but I love the journey. I love the storytelling. I love the hero's journey. And so when I came up with Eating While Broke, I was like, well, we got to start it at the root, that everyone can relate to. Like, people that are aspiring rappers that are literally only have 2 pennies to rub together. And I named it Eating While Broke. But then I realized, damn, every time I pitch the show, I have to say, hey, I have this great opportunity for you. Don't ignore the name. Let me tell you what it is. And I always have to say, ignore the name. And then I tell them, the show is about inspiring people and just kind of leveling with them and inspiring them that they can do exactly what you did, or they should believe in themselves no matter what their environment is in. But I always have to do this dang exclaimer on eating while broke.
Sometimes that's why like certain things will get to me through email, but since it doesn't have full context, it's like I can't tend to it, right? Because it doesn't resonate. But that's why I'm always somebody, I'm so open. If you see me anywhere, you can come up to me and address me. And once I meet you and feel your energy, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? But emails have no context. Like they're just, you got to take it for whatever you think it is when it comes.
I'm Pitbull told me this once. He said, if they lock the door, you're climbing through the window. I was like, oh, he didn't respond? Hey, Nicole, you better use that iHeart email.
Climb through the window, right.
You better drop that Charlemagne, is running this show and, get his attention.
Love it.
And not only did I do that, but I liked you so much. I literally was like, Earn Your Leisure should have him. Charlemagne should have him. All these people should have him. And she was like, I think they already did. Like, I was like the last one to the table. Like, these are the shows he should be on. Never had an opportunity to meet with you, but I was like, damn, well, your publicist over there, like, this is who I want.
Love it.
That's, why we named the show, at the end of the day, Eating While Broke. But I get it, because I literally, every time I sell someone on the idea, I'm like, just ignore the name. Ignore the name. But I'm glad that you take time to come and sit with me, and super excited. I love literally everything you're about. One of the things that kind of surprised me is the entrepreneur in you, and also why did you name your company The Good Company?
Right. Well, I mean, good company, just because there's a quote that say your mama say you judge by the company you keep, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like good company is encompassing of just, I like to have good people around me, and we build great energy when we go into places. We're good company to have, right? Just that name is welcoming. And then I use pennies because I feel like pennies are undervalued and overlooked, right? If you see a penny on the ground, you usually don't stop and pick it up. But imagine if you stopped and picked up every penny you walked past throughout your whole life. You probably have more money than a lot of the people beside you. Even though it's a penny, there's a multitude of them. Like, we pass them up all the time, everywhere. And no one really cares, right?
That's
true. It exists for a reason.
I sometimes think pennies exist to go in my daughter's mouth.
Right?
That was a terrible joke. I'm a new mom. I'm a brand new mom. I spend most of my days trying to convince my daughter not to try a new way to commit suicide.
Right. Tough.
Now you see why parents are like tired by 8 o'clock, because they spent the entire day like, what do you have to do next?
Tough.
But what can people expect from you in the future, music wise?
A ton of it. A whole lot of it. I'm someone, I live by this theory of like leaving empty. I don't want to leave with nothing on my plate. All the music I have, I intend to release and get out. I don't want to sit on things for years. I'm currently building crazy infrastructure at home. I keep saying I'm building Disneyland because we're building something like that completely laterally. But really, I don't know. I don't have any expectation of myself, so I think people shouldn't. They should just enjoy the journey. Like how you say you've been spying. Like, I hope when you spy, you're smiling, because it's a hell of a show to watch.
It's a beautiful show to watch.
We haven't got to see too many artists actually make it in front of us, right? Like, we see the result in that the label post and share, but we don't see like them going city to city. Hey, yo, I'm out. I'm gonna do a pop-up. Like, we don't get to see that part of the journey, and I'm showing all of it. I'm showing us running merch fulfillment out of my house. My mom is dropping them off. Like, I'm showing the entire process, and we're sharing the gems along. So I think people should just stay tuned, and we got enough sequels to beat the Fast and Furious series. Like, we coming like that.
When you do pop-up shows, right?
We're doing one tonight. I just got off a plane, and I was like, man, I want to do a show. So we announced it, and now the show tickets have been selling. We're doing one tonight. It's going to be at... Where am I going to be? I never get to go out. Pull up, because this one's going to be special because it's an unplugged version, and it's like live Q&A. Like, people
what
get
time
to ask
will it
questions.
be at?
8.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I would love to go.
Come on.
I would love to go. And I'm speaking directly to you.
Yes,
I am
please,
speaking.
come on.
Everyone is hearing this. I'm holding you accountable.
What's dope about our shows is like, this one is a bit different, but generally with our shows, like, I use the second half of my set to just let the fans choose the songs they want to hear. And I rap whatever they say they want to hear, right? So it's like a really interactive show. We did one in New York and Brooklyn when we went out there. It sold out in 6 hours, 500 tickets. So now I've just kind of been in this wave where it's like, I just be like, I feel like doing it. And we do it, and it usually goes well.
And then who kind of does the logistics?
So myself, Fornati, he's a member of my team. He helps with booking. Tieta helps with logistics. Millie is on my team. So anytime we go do a tour routing, she kind of plans and gets.
You have a guy and girl team. You well balanced.
Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
I like that because sometimes you work with people and they like slay holder. Like Charlemagne's company is pretty much ran by women. Black women, which is amazing. By the way, he treats the black women amazing.
Like, man, good. I wouldn't be where I am without women. I have a team of like the most incredible, creative, intuitive women when it comes to just business and everything.
Now, one of the things I did see, and I could be wrong, maybe lack of research, but I feel like on one of the things you had posted was like, if people buy your records, they have like some kind of ownership in it, or
so not necessarily if you buy it. Some people, so on usually on projects, I'll sell my album before it comes to streaming, and anyone who buys that project is up for selection to receive a royalty. So I usually go through the list of buyers and I'll pick like 50 to 100 people, sometimes 150 if I'm feeling good, sometimes 200. And I'll give them a percentage of royalty in different songs from that album. You can also buy royalties, like you could make an offer to purchase a share. So if you have a favorite song, you like, I love this song, I know it's gonna be big, or just I love this song, I just wanna have a stake in it, you can make an offer to me and say, I want 5% of the revenue from this song, I'm willing to give you $1,000, $500, and I'll hit you and negotiate and say, I'm willing to take this or I'm not. And then I send you a percentage through the distro you collect every month into perpetuity for the rest of your life. Yeah.
I've never heard of someone do that, though. I've never heard of someone. I was like, did he do what I think he did?
Yeah.
So wait, how did you how do you
right?
How did you come up with that though? Like how?
It was just a late night thought of like, I've always been splitting revenue with my team. Everyone who helped, producers, engineers, they all get a percent. So one day it was just like, we should give the fans some. They listen to this shit every day. Imagine if your favorite Jay-Z song, imagine you listen to it every day, but you don't own a percent of it. My fans, like Baggage Claim blew up. Some of my fans had equity in that song when it first dropped, that a year before it even took off. So they, for the rest of their life, they're going to be getting money off Baggage Claim because they just made the right call. They enjoyed the song. So,
they reached out to you, or how did you even announce that this was an option?
I made this big announcement, and Tieta on my team, she created this form for people to go fill out, and you put all your information, you put your offer amount, how much you want. It comes to a database. I look at all the offers. I'll email you and say, hey, I seen your offer. I liked it. I accept.
You email?
I go through every offer personally.
You're a badass
even
dude,
through email, like when we do bookings and shit, like people are always surprised that they're talking to me. It's like, it's my business. Of course you're talking to me.
It makes sense.
Right?
Most of my companies, for some strange reason, cannot get them past a certain threshold. I don't know if it's like my whatever. But so most of my companies are smaller, so I'll email, but I email under an alias. It'll be like Samantha, and it'll be like Samantha Johnson.
You know what's so crazy? When I used to send out emails to get booked, to go to venues and try to book them, I used to act like I was my own manager. And then eventually it's like, bro, it's me. I am LaRussell. I'm coming to the venue. This is what I want to do. Right? And I've gotten so much more rapport and response because it's like, of course, people want to talk to you. Like, I'm doing it, right? You should be able to go direct.
You didn't feel at some point it hinders how much more you can get? Because, like, I'll give it Pretty V. I emailed her. And I'm like, okay, she responded, and then, like, it was her. And then she got on the phone with me. She, like, just called me. And then I hear the Jamaican accent. I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
I said, and we ended up vibing on the phone, like, for 45 minutes. But it was the first time that I cold called, emailed somebody. And not only did they respond in record speed, but, I mean, first of all, that girl is as humble as they get.
Right.
But that was the first time that I'd ever seen like someone on that level just be like, What's up?
What's up?
Let's do it.
What
you
we
want?
doing?
She was like, what you want me to cook? I got beans. And then I was like,
what we doing?
You're dope. I was just like, you're
Right?
dope, you know? And it was fast. No team, no nothing. And, you know, I didn't even know it was her until she called me. And I was like, oh, it's you? You know? That's like if Jay-Z calls me after an email, I'll be like,
right?
What?
People usually get that same shock, but it just builds a different relationship, right? You respect what someone is building a lot more when you know they're working it, right? It's hard to fuck someone over when it's like, oh, it's you, like it's you there, right? Builds a different rapport. You have to.
Do you have a internal rule about letting new people into your camp? Because it seems like you have a very large camp.
It is kind of yeah. Even my immediate group is pretty large. There's not really a rule, just an energy, right? If I know who I like and who I don't like and who fits and who doesn't. Sometimes we'll trial people out and it's like, that didn't really work, and we kind of maneuver forward. But it's not really any rule, just your energy, how you feel, how everyone feels about you, how you feel about everyone, and we could usually get a sense of that really fast. I also have I like to work with people who work hard, like the best. You know, I don't want to, it's like, bro, I'm playing at a high level at all times. If you can't keep up, you need to go on the other court and play with the little kids for a bit till your game get up.
Have you experienced failure? Or let me just rephrase that. Have you experienced perceived failure? I hate the word failure.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Can you tell me about perceived failure and what the experience was?
Man, I've had shows where there was 5 people in the crowd and I had to pay for a venue. I rented a Sprinter van to get my team there. We brought equipment. We brought a ton of merch that we didn't sell because there wasn't no one to sell it to. And that was a tough ride home. You know, I was silent. I'm usually the loud one and talking and chatting, but I was silent, right? And I've had several of those moments of perceived failure. Even beyond that, just sometimes releasing merch and putting all your money into it and it doesn't go. The people don't react. Early on, I had a lot of albums. I dropped 22 albums. I've had a lot of albums early on where I was like, this gonna be it. We finna blow. We finna blow. We didn't blow nothing.
22 albums is a lot.
Yeah, way more coming.
22 albums, not even 22 singles.
No, and that's just my catalog. I've written other EPs, single albums for a bunch of other people. So, but just in my own album, it's 22.
When you experience perceived failure, can you walk me through your thoughts?
Usually it's negative first, right? It's all like I look for all the problems, what I didn't do, how I didn't do it, why I could have done it better. And then eventually it just becomes like analytical, solution based. Like I always want to prove me wrong or anybody wrong. I'm like, well, I'm finna next time I'm gonna do it triple the size and it's gonna be a success. But yeah, it's usually just that emotional turmoil that comes with it first, where you know you feel that dark cloud over you, and sometimes you gotta cry or you gotta sit in that and kind of be in that space until you could work through it.
I'm surprised that you didn't just say, well, maybe this is a question, but in that negative space, have you questioned your worth? Like whether, oh, well, 5 people. I get the logistics because I, as an entrepreneur, I get what did we do? What could we have done differently? But in that negative space, can you say, and you are prolific for sure, but have you questioned your own?
Not in music. Like anytime I failed in music, it wasn't a question of my own worth. It was just like they don't see it. Right. I knew I was it. I'm just like, they don't see it. I haven't done enough work for them to see it. They don't see it. So I've never questioned my worth in that aspect. If I'm questioning my worth, it's usually through some life shit, like me doing something against my own morals or against my own code, or just I let somebody down that's dear to me. Those are moments I question my worth, when I can't show up for my daughter in a way that I felt like I should. Things like that, but not music. Man, I put my hours in.
So career-wise, no.
Yeah, no, not career-wise at all. I know what I'm worth in my career. I know what I deliver. I know what I bring forth. And even through life, like I'm getting to a point where I know my impact and how significant I am to, the life around me and the world. I'm feeding a community.
You are feeding a community. So there's a book I just recently checked out. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called Male versus Man. It's by Dondre Whitfield. Shout outs to him. I picked up the book. I thought it was for men, but so I got it for my friend, and but I ended up reading it because I like to read.
I gotta get you a book.
I'm literally a book head. I am obsessed with books. But I read the book, and one of the things he pointed out in the book, which I will gift you the book now that I think I have your address. I don't know. I'll get you information.
Yes.
But anyways, one of the things he talked about was like the male versus man. You know, the male is self-seeking, and the man is of service, which is different approach. I never thought of that. Like, so when a guy takes me on a date, it's like, are you trying to get with me, or are you trying to serve me? Now, at first I was like, oh, that's messed up to like seek service, but as a female, it's actually not, because, you know, we seek protection and we seek. Some of us do need help providing, and some of us need, of course, everyone wants to be professed. Marry me. Announce to the world I'm the one. I also am a hip hop head, and after reading that book lately, it's like every song on the radio is like, shout out to my sneaky link, or yeah, I'm having sex with my side chick raw, but I'm never gonna leave you. I'm never gonna leave my family for you. And then I'm like, yo, did he really just say he's having sex with his side chick raw, and that's why she's attached? And some of these lyrics are so terrible to women. I'm like, at what point? And who is responsible? And this is just an honest, like, friend, or, you know, you have responsibilities as a philosopher and entrepreneur and a leader, and being a vulnerable man yourself. Like, who do you think is responsible? Is it the art form? Is it the male energy, or is it us women?
I don't think anyone's responsible, but I think everyone is accountable. I hear the same music coming from females as well.
I agree. I went to a nail salon. I saw nothing but strippers, right? And all the girl songs.
I don't think there's a responsibility, but there's an accountability, and I think that's one of those things that it's hard to ever be what you never see, right? A lot of these men that make it in hip hop and music, they haven't had great examples of leadership or of men that have that in them to not fall to desire, or that are disciplined or impeccable in their soul, or fulfilled to where they don't need to seek or go get extra. And the same with women. So I think that's just we often ask these artists to build things that they don't have the tools to build, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you go look in their toolbox, it's like, you want them to build a house with that shit.
I feel like Jay-Z kind of touched on that in, I want to say 444, or one of the albums, like, where he was the first one to be like therapy, and it was like, whoa.
Where we seen that, oh, wow, you've upgraded your toolbox, right? But a lot of artists don't have that. We're coming out of environments that don't nurture that type of behavior or system. Like, when I was coming up, the older men around me was like, players too. Like, bro, what, you feel me? Yeah. So you grow up embracing that and wanting to be like that. That's what you replicate. That's what you know. You don't see anyone. I don't think I've ever seen a man that was just so in love and revered their family so much and treated their woman so well. It was like they meant the world to me, for me to be like, man, that's what I want, right? Very seldom do you witness that and experience that, but yet you expect someone to conduct themselves in that manner. That's what's not going to happen.
That's interesting. So when it comes to accountability in your personal life, who holds you accountable? Is it, I don't want to answer the question.
Everyone around me, in a sense, holds me accountable in some way, but ultimately me, like, I have to be the one that wants to get up every day and put in work and be better and want to drop my daughter off and pick her up and do work and things like that. But everyone around me, from myself, my mom, my dad, my daughter, her mother, Tieta, Millie, Tessie, everyone, Fani, just all of my friends hold me accountable in some aspect. They're always in my, I can only stoop so low sometimes before someone's like, hey, bruh, what we doing?
Oh, I like that. Okay. Is there anything that your fans or me Don't know about you?
I mean everything. I mean, I guess you only know the music.
No, because you kind of sign a camera on your entrepreneurship. You also do all these little, I don't want to say little, but these gems on social media. So when I say, is there anything we don't know about you? I feel like it's like you learn a lesson. You're like, let's put it out there. Yeah. I learned that lesson. Yeah. Put it out there immediately. Definitely. Someone else, let's save somebody else today. Definitely. I had a thought, and I think that's brilliant and it's vulnerable. When it comes to social, I battle that. I'd be like, I don't know if I want to get personal, man. Oh, man. My reel is too real.
No such thing. I've had the realest reels and I shared. There's no such thing because there's a billion people in the world and someone's been through exactly what you've been through and they may need your help, right? But you're refusing to help. You have all the tools and all the means to help them, but you're refusing to do it because of your own fear, right? And like, I don't want to deny nobody of that tool. Like, I want people to be able to grow. If that's going to be through me just sharing what I felt or experienced, that's an easy call, right?
Do you do the world is always sensitive around this topic, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. But like, do you believe in therapy? Do you do therapy?
So I recently started therapy, probably a few months back, and I had a few sessions. And it's cool. I'm not consistent with it because I don't feel like I'm gaining much from it. But I also had like an expectation of what I was supposed to get from it. Like, I'm supposed to be here. Like, I have a few sessions and it's like, man, I'm a gold new man, right? And that's not how it happens. And for me, I just realized that it was work that I need to do, right? I don't need anyone's help to be a better human. I just need to choose to be a better human and commit to that. That's not something I need to talk to someone about. If you want to, yes. But for me personally, it's like I've built an entire empire. I could definitely build myself as a man, right? I don't need anyone's assistance to do that, but I've chosen not to, right? I've chosen not to allocate my energy towards that, which is the only reason I haven't grown in any way that I wish to.
It's funny you say that because I recently, full vulnerability here.
Come on.
I recently did try therapy and I kind of felt like, oh man, this is gonna sound really shitty for all those people that
give it to them.
But I felt like, I wasn't getting the response that I needed in the record speed that I needed, and it was like I knew the answers, but I just wasn't choosing to make the choice that I needed to make. And in therapy, it takes so much uprooting of your childhood to get to the root that I was like, I'm not trying to relive the thing that I ran from, like trying to give me PTSD. Like, nah, I'm good. But I do agree with you, and I'm glad you were honest about that because people say therapy, therapy, therapy. And I actually thought you weren't going to say that you do therapy because I low-key feel like your vulnerability in your lyrics is a form of therapy.
Definitely. That's where I get to get all of that from. And
someone gets you mad and you're like, are you? Because I feel like Drake, every time someone pisses him off, he's like,
writing and talking really helps. And that's the thing about the past, like you saying, and that shows you how much how deep your trauma is because you think like speaking about it is reliving it. You can't relive the past, right? It's already been lived. It's gone. It only exists in your memory. You can't relive it. But when trauma hits in a certain way, it makes you feel like you're going through that experience again, but it's not. And you really have to work through that you got to go through it to get through it, right?
Yeah. Or you can try
right?
Skip a class.
Or you can smoke a lot of weed. And,
I try my hardest to, I tell myself this. At the end of every storm is a rainbow. So the faster I don't cope through it, or the more I do not cope and numb, the faster I get through the storm. So like, if I were to numb something, drink, get high, have sex, or do whatever it is, go to the mall, look pretty, whatever I got to do, go to the clubs. If I cope through it, then it's going to take me longer to heal. If I go through it and like blow up my girlfriends, vent to strangers in 7-Elevens, whatever, I'm going to get through it faster, even though it's going to hurt like a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
you definitely prolong the healing process as you act, right? Every Twinkie you eat just makes you closer to the opposite end of where you want to be, right? Like,
exactly.
And that's how it is with everything. Every time you do another act that goes against what you want to be, you're just adding it. Because the thing with how the human system works is the more you do something, the better you get at it. Right? So the more you live foul, the better you get at it. Some people are phenomenal cheaters, and it's because they do it a whole lot. Right? So every time you do it, you're getting better at it, which means it's going to take a lot longer to get better in the other direction because you're so exceptional at what you do. If you lie a lot, you're exceptional. It's going to take you a lot to become someone who tells the truth exceptionally, right?
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, I personally give people a lot of grace. I'm one of those people that you could literally push me off my seat and be like, I was just angry. My bad, Coline. I'm sorry. I'll be like, oh, no, it's okay. We get it. We all get angry sometimes. But now I'm at the place where it's like, I get it. You're angry. I just don't want to sit next to you anymore. Like, take your anger out on the flowers over there, you know?
Right.
But it's a pleasure to have you. I know we're all over this space. I really would like to go to your show tonight. I know I do have some plans, but I'm gonna pivot. And I'm a mother now, so trust me, everything is like babysitter, nanny, babysitter. Is like any amount of freedom costs.
You have to come. This is gonna be special.
I'm definitely gonna come. I am a true fan of everything that you're doing. I am an entrepreneur to like. If you call up anybody that knows me, they're like, that is the person you call for business advice, okay?
Come on.
And I know how to cheat the system. I'm a real hustler, okay? I'll be like, oh, we can't afford the insurance? Send me the PDF of what the insurance looks like.
Right.
We will doctor the fuck out of that insurance. But I am that person, so I just do whatever it takes to get to the finish line that's not going to hurt somebody else. That's like where I draw the line. Like, if I'm going to hurt you, now, if I'm going to get over on rich people, okay, I can sleep at night, you know?
Right.
But messing over the poor, not so much, you know? But I do whatever it takes to get to the end goal. But I have so much admiration for the way you run your businesses, how everyone gets a buy-in, how everyone gets an option to invest, and how you partner and you do this restaurant where it's like pay what you want, which is brilliant. And it's just something that a lot of artists aren't doing.
Right.
You know, and I love the vulnerability in your lyrics. So I'm truly thankful that we finally got you on the show.
Come
on. Thank you all listeners for checking out another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Coline Witt, and today we have LaRussell in the building. Where can they find your Instagram handle? What's your Instagram handle?
I'm at LaRussell on everything, LaRussell. You can find me on social media, on DSPs, at home, in Vallejo, walking around.
Yeah.
You know.
So you don't, you stay in the Bay.
I stay home. I live where I'm from, and I'm there every day. I'm taking my daughter to school. I'm picking her up. I'm at Momo's, checking in on people.
Wow.
I'm around. I'm at home.
They when they told me that I got it was like I had like 2 days notice, like, you know, or whatever. And I was like negotiating with the team, everyone's schedule. There's like 4 people that have to all align schedules. And there was a hiccup. And I'm like going back and forth, like, yo, do you think we can push back? And we're all like, nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. We got an hour. Let's take it.
Come on.
But thank you. And thanks for feeding me. You and I both agree. You know, moving forward, we could do eggs, but maybe on a
thinner garlic bread.
Thinner garlic bread.
Thinner garlic bread.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, beautiful.